Hello YouTube, and welcome to a brand new kind of thing I'm going to be doing every once in a while here on my channel. I'm going to be doing basically top lists. It can be top 5, top 10, top whatever, top best, top worst, and it's basically going to be based around Pokemon, but I could do other series and stuff like that if you guys would like as well. It's just I seem to notice that on YouTube the top videos seem to be most popular with Pokemon. So today I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y. And these Pokemon, I'm not going to count the legendaries. If you want to know my opinions on this generation's legendaries, leave a comment below and I'll be sure to do so, as well as leave a request for the next countdown in the comments below and I'll be for sure to do it. Today's list is basically going to be based off of most of my honest personal reasons to like the Pokemon. I'm a beginner in competitive battling, so this list isn't too influenced on stats too much. It's mostly just my personal preference for the design of the Pokemon. And, you know, none of the Pokemon on here are necessarily bad Pokemon. It's just, yeah, I'm not basing this list on stats. And also, a quick disclaimer, this is just 100% my opinion. Don't be offended if one of your favorite Pokemon from X and Y are not on this list. And also, please take into consideration the time that this list is made, because who knows, in a couple of weeks up to a couple of months, there could be new Pokemon added to 6th Gen. But anyways, I'm going to get into my top 5. First, we have 3 honorable mentions. Basically, they're Pokemon that I would have put on this list, but I wanted to narrow it down to a top 5 rather than a top 8 because nobody does a top 8 and that's just kind of silly. So I thought, you know, just have these 3 that basically just missed the mark. The first one is Dragalge. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it. And basically, I just love this guy because I love his typing, and I think it's really cool that he's got like that dragon type added onto him. And the main reason I basically have him on here is because, you know, I was chain fishing. He was one of the first shiny Pokemon I could get. Even though it was chain fishing, it was still a legit shiny, which is one of the first legit shinies that I've been actually able to get without, you know, using Pokegen and stuff like that. Also in Toronto, which is close to where I live, they recently put up a huge aquarium, and I went there and I saw these, I think they were called leafy sea dragons or leaf sea dragons, just sea dragons really. And then I went home and I was like, oh my god, I totally have this Pokemon, and I just thought that was a really cool thing. So, you know, he's not really one of my favorites, but, you know, he's an honorable mention. The next honorable mention is a Noivern. I do have a Noibat, but to be honest, this guy just missed the list because I didn't get a chance to use him. I think Noivern is so cool looking. I did catch a Noibat, but you know, I never got around to using it yet, so I can't really speak of it as one of my top 5 favorite for Gen 6 so far, but I do really love this Pokemon, and I think it's also really cool that it has that dragon type added to it. The last honorable mention is Sylveon. Sylveon I do actually really love. I know a lot of people don't like it because of its glassy eyes and stuff like that. They think it's looks more like a ghost, which is originally what I thought the typing of it was. But then I kind of realized, why would they hide the type if it wasn't a new type? But yes, Sylveon I do really love. I love how it's really cutesy and girly, but then, you know, I have one on my team. I've used it throughout like pretty much the entire game and now into competitive battling, and it is a tank. I love how something just so cute could be so powerful, which is really the fairy type in general, but Sylveon is probably my favorite fairy so far. Once again, I'm just not going to include it in the top 5 because out of the evolutions, it is not my favorite. So now we can finally move on to my actual top 5 favorite Pokemon of the 6th Gen series. So coming in at number 5, we have the Scatterbug, Spoopa, and Vivillon line. I am in love with these bugs. I started off, you know, Scatterbug, I saw him advertised before the game came out, didn't think much of him, but then I actually, being, you know, just a new player to the game, I'm like, oh, you know what, here's early access to one of the new Pokemon, let's get him. Try him out. Then he evolved into Spoopa, which I love just for the name. I thought Spoopa was the most hilarious Pokemon when it came out. I just love that name, Spoopa. And then I just saw him in the anime recently, and you know, what's not to love about him? And one of the real things that drove me to put this line on the list is Vivillon. When I first evolved my Vivillon, I think it's called the Polar Vivillon? I think it's called the Polar Vivillon, and basically it's the blue one with the snowflakes kind of on it. I'll have a picture, but I was so in love. I was like, what is this? Is this a shiny? Is this weird? Like, what is happening? And then one thing led to another, and I found out that different areas have different Vivillon, and I love that idea. I think that is so cool. And something else that really, really makes me love Vivillon is that it's actually a useful bug type Pokemon. It's not something like a Butterfree or a Beedrill that you just use to get past a few trainers and stuff like that, and then you don't use it again. Vivillon is actually full-on useful because of the fact that it has that bug typing, and the fairy type is so overpowered in 6th generation that having a bug type around is really, really crucial, and it's it'll get you out of a lot of sticky situations because fairy types can be very tough to deal with, and having something just like that, a bug type, really awesome. And I love the attacks that it moves, and I just think it is just really cute. I think that it's one of the cutest bug Pokemon ever. I love just how really pretty it is. It's really lovable. Chespin. Now, when I first saw the 3 of the starters, to be honest, Froakie wasn't one of my favorites. I do like him now because of the anime. Fennekin, you know, I had really great wishes for, as did everybody, and it was originally kind of one of my buddies, but then I kind of, you know, things took its place, and I found out that I actually really liked Chespin the best. As soon as I saw Chespin, even though I really kind of did like Fennekin, I knew I had to have Chespin, and the final evolutions only led me on to it further. I'm not a huge fan of Greninja. I know, hate, but Chestnut, I really do like Chestnut. I don't dislike any of them really. It's just Chestnut's my personal favorite, which is what this list is. It's a personal favorite. So Chespin is honestly, I really do like the idea of him. I know he's really simple, and he's kind of like the same thing as like a Piplup in a way, if you've seen stuff on that, the design and stuff like that, but I really do love Chespin. The only reason he's kind of low on this list is because now, to me, the starters are kind of older news. You know, we've been seeing them and advertised on everything for months and months now, and now that we finally actually have Pokemon X and Y, and soon the Ruby and Sapphire remakes, there's just really, I'm really not that hyped up about the starters as everybody was in the start. So that's probably why he's so low on this list. Had it been a few months earlier, he would have been a lot higher. Chespin is my starter. Loved him from the beginning. Love him still. Next is Heliolisk. At the start, I saw Helioptile, and I saw that he was in the anime and stuff like that at the end of like the Black and White, one of the series or something like that, and I didn't really like Helioptile much. I thought it was really weird, and even Heliolisk, I really didn't like it at first, but then I actually caught one, and I saw its evolution, and I found that it was actually really cool. I loved all the variety of moves that it could use. It could use crazy moves like Surf, which could get you out of a lot of trouble, and I really liked it. And I like how when you attack with him, like his lizard, you know, main thing, I don't know what to call it, goes up, and it really just kind of reminded me of like a real lizard. And yellow is pretty much my favorite color, and I actually really turned to like this guy. I mean, I bred probably like a couple hundred eggs trying to get one with the nature that I wanted, so there's no denying that Helios is one of my favorites, and even now, like, he's always on all of my teams, and like I said, I did actually, this is one of the very few Pokemon that I really turned out loving after using them. Normally, it's I look at them, I like it, I don't like it, unless it's really good, but I still won't like it too much. But no, Helios, it earned its respect for me after all the breeding and stuff I went through. I knew, wow, I'm spending a lot of time into this Helios, I must really like it. I do like Helios. Fletchinder is at number 2 on our list, and to be honest, this would be number 1, but I forced myself to put Fletchinder at number 2 because of the fact that it's so biased. Fire types love him. A firebird, who doesn't want that? Everybody knows on my channel I'm obsessed with birds. I have birds. Birds are my life. I really do love them. I've got such a passion for birds, and even in Pokemon lately I'm finding out that I do enjoy all of the really bird kind of flying types. I do really enjoy Fletchling and Talonflame, but Fletchinder just has some spunk about him. I love Fletchinder. I think he's so cool. Not gonna say too much about this one because, like I said, it's just biased. So now here we are at the number 1 Pokemon that I really like in Generation 6 so far. And that is, it's actually a tie between 2 Pokemon from the same evolution line. I know most of you probably went with the jaw fossil, but I went with the sail fossil. And I got Amaura and Aurorus. And I love these little guys. Amaura, I hatched that thing. I thought it was the cutest Pokemon I've ever seen. Biggest eyes looking at me. I didn't understand. Like, it was so cute. And I know the typing and everything like that is not that great on these Pokemon, but I really liked Amaura, and to me, it was literally the cutest Pokemon. And when you throw him out into battle, the battle cry, the battle cry gets me every time. I absolutely love that. And, as far as Aurorus goes, even when it evolved, I was almost shed a tear when my Amaura evolved because I didn't want it to evolve. I loved it that much, so much. But then I kind of figured, let's give Aurorus a try. Let it evolve. It's still a very elegant Pokemon. I love it. I thought it was so cool still. Amaura is the cute one, but Aurorus really is still an elegant Pokemon, and I love the noises that they both make. And I'm just so in love with these Pokemon so much. If I was in it, if Pokemon reveal, who wouldn't want a cute little Amaura and a huge Aurorus to just fight for you? Love it, love it, love it. So there you have it, my top 5 Gen 6 Pokemon so far. And please leave a comment below of any more top kind of lists you guys want me to do, and I'll be sure to look them over and do them. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe for more. Feel free to also list your top 5 in the comment section below. Bye!